One of the more common questions or comments I've received over the past couple of years on my videos is someone asking, how can Trump possibly be the Antichrist when he's fighting against the evil of this world? Now, that's more of a rhetorical question than an actual inquiry, because usually the person asking that is already convinced that in the battle of good versus evil, Donald J. Trump is definitely on the side of good. Often there's a reference to Matthew 12:26 as well with these comments, in which Jesus talked about how a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Therefore, the logic goes, Trump can't be the Antichrist because it would mean that Satan is fighting against Satan. So let's talk about this. Can Trump really be the Antichrist if he's fighting against so much evil? Or, to put it another way, since those who are evil are waging war against Trump, surely that must mean that Trump is good. Well, it turns out that this argument is deeply flawed, and here are 5 specific reasons why. First, Trump isn't fighting against evil. He's fighting against those who oppose him. Trump's history shows over and over again that his fights are against those who criticize him or oppose him in some way. This is not the same as fighting against evil, and in fact, evil has very little to do with who he goes to war against. Those who oppose Trump feel the wrath of Trump, regardless of whether or not they are evil. In fact, Trump has even bragged about going after those who attack 10 times harder than they attacked him. He's driven by his own thirst for vengeance above anything else. Trump also does not attack those who are loyal or who compliment him in some way, even if those particular people are evil. Examples of that include Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un, both evil men who complimented Trump and who have been, in turn, flattered by Trump. Second, the right versus left narrative deludes Christians, but it's a mirage. Many Christians, especially evangelical Christians, get caught up in the whole right versus left political show and somehow remain convinced that one particular side or the other is much closer to God. This is a total mirage. In fact, politics are the epitome of the things of this world, and the corruption and evil within both political parties is plain to see if you only open your eyes. The aptly named dark money that flows through political campaigns brings that point home. It also needs to be pointed out that the Bible does not have a hierarchy of sins where only 1 or 2 sins really matter and the rest are much less important. Both political parties are filled with sinful men and women, and the right versus left illusion is just that, an illusion. Third, you will know them by their fruits. So what are Trump's fruits? The argument that since evil forces are fighting against Trump, therefore Trump must be good, doesn't hold water in one very obvious way. Trump himself has been a walking, talking example of doing and saying evil things. Trump's history of denigrating others, stunning dishonesty, and desire for extreme vengeance reveals him to be a truly vile man. Coincidentally, whatever evil forces are fighting against Trump also share these exact same characteristics. History is rife with examples of evil warlords going to battle against one another, seeking to destroy those who oppose them. Trump's battles against those who oppose him are not so different from those. Fourth, the strong delusion happens within the church, not among unbelievers. The Bible teaches us that there will be a strong delusion in the last days, causing many believers to fall away from the faith. And in fact, this strong delusion is specifically tied to the Antichrist arriving on the scene. It's important to note that the strong delusion happens to Christians, not to unbelievers. Something is to happen within the church that causes many to fall away, meaning that the deception will come from someone reasonably close to the faith. Very few Christians would be deluded by an easy-to-identify, far-left, pagan, Muslim type of Antichrist. Instead, the Antichrist will be embraced by the church, and this man of sin will lead many believers to fall away from the faith. Fifth, the mistaken belief that Trump is a lightworker or force for good. Pervasive in Christianity is the idea that everything can be reduced to being a battle of good versus evil. And in recent years, Trump himself has come to be seen as the leader of this battle, helping Christianity fight against the powers of darkness. Interestingly, many New Age religions have a similar worldview, promoting the idea of light workers, which are those who help humanity move forward in some way. They are opposed by dark workers, who exhibit selfish traits that hurt other people. Coincidentally, more and more New Age practitioners are embracing Trump as a massive and powerful lightworker, a man leading the world to a better place as he opposes the dark workers who strive to bring us all down. The New Age belief that Trump is a lightworker shares obvious parallels not only with the Christian concept of good versus evil in these end times, but also elevates him to a level similar to how QAnon views him as a world leader whose mission is to save the children. But once you understand that everything Donald Trump says and does is for the glorification of Donald Trump, the real purpose to all this becomes clearer. Trump is a false light. The elevation and even deification of Trump as being a powerful force for good is but an illusion, and in fact it is a perfect deception intended to delude Christians and have them fall away from the faith. For by embracing such a man of sin, and especially believing that he is fighting evil on their behalf, Christianity has opened itself up to blindly following this man of sin straight down the road to perdition. Trump's battles with the evils of this world isn't Satan fighting against Satan. Instead, it's Satan's master plan to have him be perceived as a force for good, even a light for this world, so that he can delude Christians into turning their back on Jesus. In reality, Trump isn't a force for good or a light worker of any kind. He's a false light designed to deceive Christians. Please don't follow his false light down the road to perdition. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to click on the like button below, as that greatly helps my channel with YouTube's algorithms. If you care to leave a comment or subscribe to my channel, please do. As always, kindly be respectful in your comments, especially towards those with whom you disagree. I'll talk to you guys soon.